it's okay. Tailor Charity setups basic resource production, and Dermo, now let's see what he does. He setups Vanguard production. Eldritch Reality decides to go for basic spikes. Dermo decides to go for the spikes too in the first round, and he defends with Heavy Tower. One power connector can't connect everything, so he has to buy a second one. And he powers the factory to almost full efficiency. Let's see what Reality does. He hasn't finished buying in the shop, and he locks an artillery tower for the next round. No, it's a Vanguard production, sorry. Vanguards will defeat the spikes, but only if Heavy Tower manages to defend spikes coming from the bottom. Are the spikes coming from the bottom or from the top? Let's see. The Heavy Tower gets powered, and the spikes are coming from the top. I think Vanguards will destroy them. Dermo optimizes his Vanguard production a bit, and Eldritch Reality decides to start. Dermo places a small factory just to tank some damage as a wall, and they start the battle. Spikes from the drop pods already go to enemy bases. The Heavy Towers easily defend them. And now it will be Vanguard versus spikes. Vanguards are heavy, so they usually counter spikes pretty easily. And in this round, I think Dermo will win. Unless the Heavy Tower manages to defend the Vanguard, but I think it won't. Vanguards are just strong. So it's sudden death already, and there is a lot of Vanguards in the field, and the turret got depowered. So the Vanguards will reach the core and destroy it. Here we go. Dermo wins the first round. Eldritch Reality still watches the replay, so let's see what Dermo does. Dermo buys another drill. Drills cost only one, so you can resell them back at one and you don't lose anything. A reactor. Reactors are essential for power. You really need a lot of power in this game. He connects the Ignian drill to the reactor to boost its efficiency, and thinks what to do next. Eldritch Reality also thinks what to do next. He bought a geothermal power plant, which is really powerful, but he needs more factory if he wants to win. Dermo gets another factory. It's a spike factory, as I understand. Vanguards plus spikes is a great combination, especially against what Eldritch Reality is doing. I don't know what he is doing. I think he just watches what he can do right now. He replaces the factory to the bottom to get more resources, so the factory will work at full efficiency. And Dermo rearranges his power, so it's more efficient, and improves the efficiency of Vanguard factory. Adds more ferrite. And he is ready for the battle. Dermo is not ready yet. He takes his time, he rearranges the base. He tries to connect everything to one network, but it doesn't quite fit, so he has to rearrange it. Dermo is waiting. His factory looks quite good for the second round. He decided to not power the reactor with Ignion because he didn't have enough drills, and he has enough power already. It's a great decision. He will have more Vanguard production, and Vanguards are really strong. The Eldritch Reality still thinks on what to do. He looks over every item in the shop. And he thinks if he wants to buy artillery tower or light tower. He decides to go for light tower. But I don't think it will protect him against spikes and vanguards. Those are just too strong together for 2 towers to tank. He places a second drill to improve his spike factory efficiency. Let's see the defense of Dermo. Dermo just inspects his base to admire it, and you can't see his defense just yet because he admires his base. He has one heavy tower. That's enough against spikes. The spikes are producing, and they're producing quite well. So I think Eldritch Reality can start the round. He can't do anything else. Yes, he starts the round. The 2 drop pots against 1 drop pot, 2 spikes will win, obviously. Let's see Dermo point of view. His spikes get from the top. They will be destroyed by those 2 towers, and they won't do any damage. And Eldritch Reality attacks him from the bottom, attacks Dermo from the bottom. The heavy tower deals with the spikes quite well, and the vanguards already arrive at the top. They start killing the 2 towers that protect the core, and unfortunately Eldritch Reality will lose this round also. Let's see what Dermo is doing. Dermo is watching replay. He will win. Eldritch Reality starts thinking about his shop options. He can buy a drill, but what he needs are factories. If he has more factories, then he will have more battle power, and he will destroy his opponent more quickly. He decides to buy a lot of sectors. I'm not sure it's a good idea. Maybe he hasn't memorized the resource distribution yet. It's okay. But he wasted a little bit of money. Not that much. What Dermo is doing? Dermo is increasing his power production. He set up a second reactor. He places a light tower to protect against spikes and possibly air, because light towers can protect you against air. And he has no money left. Did he buy only reactor? Or I saw something at the bottom. I'm not sure what it was. It was just 2 drop. Okay, so no production expansion for now, just another reactor, another 2 drop pods, nothing special. What is Eldritch Reality doing? Eldritch Reality rearranges his production completely. No, not completely. His spike production is still at the bottom. He decides to power up the mending tower with iron. He sets up the drill for iron and moves iron to the tower. Tower will be able to help the towers against vanguards and spikes, and the reactor will produce quite a lot of power. And Dermo improves his vanguard production, because vanguard production needs more Voltanium. Voltanium is that green thing, green metal. And this top patch of Voltanium has much more of it. than the right patch. So his vanguards will produce almost twice as fast, and now he needs to place his spike factory somewhere good. He places it here, where he can get 2 patches of ferrite at the same time. But he's out of power connection. It's not really nice, but it happens. He can't power 2 remote bases at the same time. Let's see what he does. What's Eldritch Reality doing? Eldritch Reality is ready for the fight. He has 1 spike factory and stronger defense at the top. This defense will still die after the sudden death, but I guess it is what it is. Dermo has a strong factory. He barely doesn't reach the second bore. I mean, really. Oh, that's a hard decision. I think he will make... Okay, he decides to start. The spike factory will be half efficient, but I think he will win anyway, because his production is just too strong for this base. He has 4 drop pods, don't forget. So his spikes will arrive early and deal a lot of damage. Well, not a lot. Heavy towers just kill them. Heavy towers are really good. And we have a small spike combat at the bottom. One factory is more efficient than another. Eldritch Reality's factory is more efficient, and the one with 2 bores. So this factory will eventually win. Well, is it more efficient? They're about the same efficiency, but it doesn't matter because there are vanguards at the top, and vanguards will kill everything. Mending Tower actually does quite a great job, but it's just a bit too much vanguards. It heals the tower. It heals it quite well actually, but it's already sudden death. The conveyors will be broken in a while. Yes, they are. And vanguards proceed to kill the core. Another win for Dermo. Eldritch Reality is also finished watching the replay, and he considers buying another sector. He can buy another sector, but he has enough resources on his sectors, so I think he can just exploit them. Well, let's see what he does and what Dermo does. Dermo bought something from the shop. Oh, a fighter factory. Fighter factory is quite good air, especially in early game. In early game, only spikes can counter the fighters. So fighters are really a great idea. He removes the spike factory and possibly will be replacing it with fighters. The Vanguard factory is very good. He shouldn't replace it, and he understands it. What he should do is to reach power at the bottom. He needs more power. Well, probably he can do it. Yes, he powers both of reactors with Ignion. The left reactor isn't connected to the power. I hope yes, he realized it. And now he optimizes his power, and probably yes, he bought the sector with Ignion and he places his fighters. Let's see what Eldritch Reality is doing. Eldritch Reality rearranges his base again. Takes his time. Well, this game is quite chilled, so you can take your time, you can do whatever you want. Rearrange your factories. I just hope he doesn't do it for too long, because otherwise it won't be interesting to watch. Dermo is very good. He built vanguards and fighters. You can see fighters at the bottom. He thinks to sell Spike Factory or just experience with selling, I don't know. I think spikes plus, not spikes, fighters plus vanguards will be a pretty good combination. He sells his solar powers to buy another reactor. Reactors actually more power efficient, cost efficient than solar panels. Will he be able to power the spikes? He has no drills left. Well, I guess not this time. He wants to connect his whole base and he succeeds. Now he is ready. Eventuality is building improved spike factory, 3 iron drills, you don't need that much iron. And he has a lot of money left. Why is the artillery tower still locked? I think he should have unlocked it. But I think he is doing pretty good. He does his best. Dermo is ready for the battle and he watches his units produce. It looks majestic. The fighters, the vanguards, this is quite a strong force. I think they will destroy Electricity. He continues to build his spike factory and his melting tower, and he powers it with iron. He needs more power. He has not enough power. It's Vanguard Factory, sorry, it's not Spike Factory, it's Vanguards. Spikes plus Vanguards? Could they win this? Maybe, yes, Spikes are good at countering fighters. Actually, Spikes are the only thing that can counter fighters in early game. His Vanguard production is less efficient because he has less power, but maybe he will succeed. Let's see. He's currently rearranging his power, places solar panels back. No, he sells it. Why? He has not enough power, he shouldn't sell those. He should connect. Yes, that's what you need, my friend. Exactly. Oh, and he has a large drill. Maybe he doesn't realize that he has a large drill, but it's very important to buy because every endgame factory is dependent on this drill. He places some more towers to protect. He should have placed them on the bottom because his top is already protected, and drop pot in the back. Maybe it's just a small mistake. I think he should have placed it at the front. But let's not judge him. Seems like he's just a beginner. He tries really hard and we should appreciate that. He's doing really great. Just a bit too slow. Maybe in future games we have to set some kind of time limit so this doesn't happen. Yes, he starts. Yes, his factor. No, I mean his light tower isn't powered. Let's see how quickly he notices it. The light tower next to the vanguard. Yes, exactly. So now we can start. Let's press this button and see what happens. He looks at the opponent's factory and he sees his fighters. I think there is not enough air protection in the bottom, so the fighters will do quite a big damage. No, the fighters got redirected to the units and they shouldn't. They should attack the buildings. The building got healed by a healing tower. I mean mending tower. Well, that's something. The fighters started attacking the vanguards. They will support their most vanguards. And their most vanguards will win this fight. The fighters are right now just a support. He accelerates the time because it's a bit too long to watch, and fighters start killing the factory. And yeah, right now 4 losses for Electricity. Let's hope he makes a comeback with Lancer Factory. You see the Lancer Factory in his shop. He should buy it, especially on discount. Come on, buy the Lancer Factory. You need it. Lancers are really cool, and if something can win the game for Electricity is Lancers. He carefully thinks about his choices. Let's see what Dermo does. Dermo restructures his factory again. What? Yes, he bought a large drill and a large. Oh, 3 fighters. 3 fighters is interesting. 3 fighters will be extremely strong. Against flag towers, they won't be so strong, but I don't think Eldritch Reality will buy flag towers. And Dermo right now is constructing his ultimate fighter factory. The Vanguards at the top, I think, will stay in production because they're really good. And Dermo seems to have a very good time. He just has to scrape a lot of iron, ferrite. Iron and ferrite are basically the same, and everything will be cool. He connects the Voltanium to the fighters, and he connects the ferrite. What Eldritch Reality does? He bought a flag tower. It's great. Flag tower will give him some chance against fighters, because fighters die to, if I remember correctly, 2 shots of flag tower. But unfortunately his production base is a bit too small. He should have more production, I think. And he should buy this artillery tower. Why does it stay locked for the whole game? The fact that he bought a flag tower is really good. The flag towers are great counters against air. Maybe not the amount of air that Dermo has already. Let's see how efficient his factories are. His factories are efficient. He separated them a little bit to connect everything with the power station, small power station, and it's a really good decision, I think. He tries to find a way to connect the towers. No, I mean the drills. And he does it. His fighter production is doing great, and his reactor will provide power for him. And he sells the factory. Now it's time to start the battle. I think his base looks very good, and he will produce a lot of fighters. There is just not enough iron for that. A bit not enough iron. Let's see what Eldritch Reality does. Eldritch Reality. Does he know that he can drag mouse to delete everything? He deletes conveyors one by one. I think he will know it next time. He sells a Vanguard factory, and what does he want, tier 2? Yes, he wants tier 2. But unfortunately tier 2 consumes a lot of power. I don't think it's a good decision, but it's at least funny. Well, not funny, but it has some potential. If even one Bastion tank produces, then he will have some potential. He will be able to deal with Vanguards really great. Dermo has finished his factory and he's waiting. So he has 1 Vanguard and 3 fighters. That's excellent. Because the Bastions are heavy and they cannot attack fighters, so fighters will be countered. I'm really sorry, I got microphone disconnected for this whole time. I did a lot of commentary. So I'm sorry.
Unfortunate.
That's exactly why we did testing rounds. I think you haven't heard a lot of things I said. Right now, Dermo seems to be winning really hard. The flag tower seems to counter the fighters for now, and the healing tower heals all the bleeding effect. But the Vanguards are already arriving, and will the Bastion finish before the Vanguards? That's the question. If the Bastion finishes, it will do a lot of damage to Vanguards. But the fighters keep attacking. Why doesn't the healing tower heal? Yes, a Bastion has arrived. a bastion will kill the vanguards together with a heavy tower. But the fighters are already destroying the whole infrastructure. They're just too strong. One flag tower is not enough to counter 3 fighter factories. So this is another win for Demo. Am I pronouncing this correctly? Sorry if not. Only one win left for Dermo. He thinks about more air. There are gunships and there are bombers. Let's wait for a bit and switch to Eldritch Reality. Eldritch Reality improves his tier 2 production. It's not the most efficient placement for a duel. He places it and now the bastions will produce more quickly. He powers it up. He will take some time to rearrange his factory. He really should buy more anti-air because his opponent has 3 fighters and he will have some more in a while. The bastions are producing just fine. That's not enough resources for them, but it's at least something. You really should add more resources. Meanwhile, Dermo switched to air completely. He's now making what is it, bombers or gunships? I can't see by the factory. It has to, yes, it's bombers. Bombers will be really powerful if they are not countered. They can be countered by flag towers, but you need a lot of flag towers to counter one bomber, like 2 or 3. And in combination with fighters, it will be a really good attack. He has no defense against ground, but he thinks he won't need it. And maybe with this much of firepower, he won't. His airships will just destroy everything before enemy ground forces arrive. But the bastions can pose some threat, but their factory will most likely be destroyed by bombers. Let's see what Eldritch Reality does. Eldritch Reality is building a new factory. He thinks about more power. Does he need more power? Yes, he needs. Everything is yellow. And he needs power. What does he want to do? He seems to want to buy power tower. He doesn't really need. He needs more power production because his power production is really low. What he needs? He needs more power production and he needs more defenses. And his bastion tank produces a bit too slowly because it doesn't have enough fair rate. He has to direct more fair rate there. He seems to think about buying a Vanguard producer, but he already has a bastion, so he doesn't need it. Dermo is monitoring his production very carefully. Wow, this is such a great production. I played an industry and my soul loves watching this. It's like a production hub. There are 3 fighter factories, a reactor, 2 small reactor. Dermo seems to use a lot of reactors. Just a lot. He uses 4 reactors. Seems like it's his favorite power plant. And he decides that he is ready. He sets rally points of every building in different direction. And he is ready to fight. Meanwhile, Eldritch Reality is still thinking on improving his production. He wants to buy a drill, a good drill. It will be quite beneficial for him, but power is more important. Does he want to buy a drill? It will decrease his power, but it will increase his research production. If he sells a small drill, he will have enough money for an improved one. to increase the production of bastions. But he decides to not bother with it and starts battle. 4 draw pots against 2 draw pots, 2 draw pots at the top will win, and I think the factories are just too far apart in power. Unfortunately, I think the air will defeat the ground in this case. Yes, the fighters already fly, they destroy everything, they sever power connection, and they swarm the base. Thank you for playing. In this round, Dermo won decisively. Thank you, Elrich Reality, for participating. We really appreciate that you tried. You did very good, but unfortunately not good enough. Thank you again. Thank you all for participating, and I hope we'll see you on the tournament. Thank you.